I'm Dan, a game dev with nearly a decade of experience. On my journey, I've met some really cool developers, and I've asked them to take us on a tour of games they've worked on, learning, sharing stories, and showing off some Easter eggs. So, let's begin the tour. Hey everyone, today we're taking a look at Phasmophobia, probably one of the scariest games we've covered on this series so far, and we have two guides to take us through the haunted farmhouse. If you'd like to introduce yourselves.
Hi, I'm Corey. I'm the current art director for Kinetic Games.
Yeah, I'm Louis. I'm an environment artist for Kinetic Games.
Awesome, and I'm scared and excited. I've said that to these guys so many times off camera already. They're probably sick of hearing it. Look at how, before we get started, look at how stacked this van is. By the way, look at, and Corey, you made all of these like props.
Yeah, so when I joined, like 4 years ago nearly, the game was using almost entirely asset packs. And my first job was to replace all the equipment. So there was a big update where we replaced all the equipment models. And then a year or two ago, we tripled the amount and gave every item 2 upgrades. So there was a lot of models to make. And yeah, these are all the tier 3 versions of the items.
We're on the farmhouse map, which, Louis, this is your first ever map you got a chance to work on because it's had a big update recently, right?
Yeah, it's my I joined straight after Point Hope, so my first thing was making a fridge, and having Corey there to give me feedback on all of that was really cool.
And in we are. I'm getting like flashbacks. Fun fact, when I first played this game, my sister like called me, like she actually phoned me and was like, you need to get this game. And Farmhouse was the first map we went on, and she just spent the whole time screaming. And
Oh god.
so it's really cool to be back on it. And I played a lot of Phasmophobia when it first came out, so it's amazing to see the amount of support it's had since. And the fact as well that, you know, this was a solo developed game, right? And it's gone on to, you know, be supported. Around that time, there were a lot of indie games that was kicked off and abandoned, you know, and this is definitely not one of them games. Just the amount of support has been incredible since creation, really.
Yeah, it's pretty crazy. The fact that Dan, or DK as people know him, managed to basically invent a genre on his own is crazy.
Yeah, certainly, like, crazy.
Yeah, I remember him saying how he didn't expect to have so many wish lists, and it just blew up overnight.
Yeah.
And I mean, maybe he's watching, right? But let's pretend he's not. Is he? Yeah, he's like a really chill and humble guy, right? It sounds like just from him mentioning.
Oh yeah, 100%.
Yeah, absolutely.
Oh, I found the ghost, by the way. It's in the pink tea room.
Oh,
nice.
How did you find it? Like, what was the?
So I'm using a video camera, and with the lights off and the night vision turned on, I was looking for ghost orbs, which is one of the 7 evidence types.
It's also 11 degrees. Bit chilly.
And it's chilly, so yeah.
2 clues here, and
so we can mark that in our journals.
Yes, if I press J here, we have options for different types of ghosts, and there's a lot here. There's actually more than I remember. And
I think like 4 years ago there was 9, 10, 11, 12, maybe 13, 14. Yeah, like 14-ish. And over development, we've slowly added some, and I think we've still got room for another 6 with the amount of evidence that we have at the moment. So
ghost orb and freezing temperatures leaves us with Revenant, Yuri, Hantu, and Onryo. How do you pronounce that?
Onryo, yeah.
Onryo. So it's gonna be one.
Did we get freezing, Louis, or is it just cold?
No, it's still 9.5.
Oh,
okay, yeah. So for freezing, we'll need actual 0 here.
Okay.
Yeah, here is my cat as well.
You made
these
a cat?
All,
yeah,
oh my these God, are all yeah, Corey made these plates. These are all like Kinetic Games content creators' pets on the walls. And then snuck some of the developers' pets in as well.
And here's my one.
This is your cat?
Maple.
This one here, I just dropped Dolly. Yeah, I'll drop her on the floor.
yeah, I see it. The black and white one. Oh, look at all these. They're everywhere. I love that.
Loads.
It's such a fun Easter egg.
It was like inspired by Professor Umbridge from Harry Potter, kind of. Our level designer thought it would be like a cool idea to put all of them in here, and we were just like, yeah, that sounds like a really good place to put them all. So
That's so cool. And I guess because it's like such a intimate small team, right, you have a lot of creative freedom to do stuff like that, because you don't have like some big crazy AAA legal department being like, no, you can't use that picture of a dog.
yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
There are some things that like you do come across with legalities. Like obviously we're still a independent company, but we still have to kind of bear in mind the legalities of things, and even we have to even get a contract written up so that we can use their photos. Like
Oh yeah, like a likeness for the
yeah, because you'd think that, oh, you know, they play the game, they want it in the game, they can just give it to us, but that doesn't cover us, because at the end of the day, if they wanted to, they could say, well, you used that without my permission, and then, you know, it could cause some trouble down the line. So yeah, we do have good agreements with our partners, but it does involve legalities, which I imagine a lot of people don't realize.
Yeah, the team definitely feels a lot more tight knit being an indie team. I mean, me not having experience in any other, you know, game development teams, I think it's like the perfect introduction to the industry. And I always say to my friends that I feel like I've found like the final goal in like my first job in the industry, because everyone is so friendly.
I like this interactability. Like, can ghosts interact with these things? Can they like bang them up and down and stuff?
Yeah, and they'll have a chance to leave fingerprints on them if they're a fingerprints ghost. So we kind of try to make as many things in the game feel like they would in real life. Like if it looks like it should move, it probably should, which to our detriment does cause a lot of problems in the long run, because performance is always a battle to fight. But yeah, we find a good balance, I think.
And I bet as well that performance battle is even more so because this game's VR, right? And you have to cater to the VR audience. So.
Yeah, exactly.
I actually made that sword.
Oh, did you? Nice sword, mate.
Yeah, my one little weapon that I could make.
Oh, here's that plate from earlier. I wondered where that went.
It's stealing it.
Who have you got? Oh, that's Ghost Kai's dog.
Oh yeah.
His name is Templar.
Templar the dog. The most like that. If you told me that was like a stock photo of a dog, I'd fully believe you. Like, look at how like perfectly framed he is.
Yeah.
Can I have a feature request? Can we get the toilet seat lid to move up and down?
No, but you can flush it.
Oh, nice. I'll take that.
Oh, imagine being able to open the toilet and having to like animate the flushing. That would be awful.
God.
Oh
yeah. Shader to make.
Oh, we got some like cobwebs in it. This is like creepy, isn't it?
You might find a little friend if you're lucky.
Yeah. A friend?
Yeah. You have any phobias?
Yeah. Be careful where you step.
Oh no.
She might not be here, to be fair. She's not always. No, I think you're safe.
Biggest, quote unquote, she.
Yeah. You're safe. She's not here today.
So a giant ass spider lives in here, bro.
Yeah. So the story is that like obviously things went wrong in the houses, and you know, everyone tried escaping, but you know, this terrarium's been smashed and a little critter has escaped. So sometimes when you play the map, you can actually find a tarantula in the map, and it'll. I had the joys of animating that, which was not the greatest pleasure of my life.
No way.
Skittling about somewhere.
This is right. This is like every single tour we've done has had the same thing. So I'm going to take the opportunity to repeat the point that I've been trying to make to these to game art students. Look at the environmental storytelling. They have a tarantula crawling around, but they've built the terrarium and smashed the glass to give it justification. I think that's like, I'll let you guys speak to it a bit more, but do you know, giving context to like decisions and gameplay and, you know, is really important, right?
Yeah, I think when I first started, like talking about the fridge again, I had a fridge and then I made an oven, and I'd send these like feedback pictures back to Corey, and obviously I'd just finished uni and I'd never really thought about it before, but the first thing that Corey would ever say is like, have you thought about the story behind like these props? So does it have a spill in it? is there like if you had like a coffee table, is there a coffee stain on the table? That sort of thing.
Yeah. Exactly. It's something we've seen. I'm so glad we've seen examples of it here as well, like really clear, obvious examples. I mean, they're everywhere, right? They're in it goes everything from a tarantula crash thing all down to that coffee stain. But it's good to I think it's really good to see it in games like this, and then people can think of other examples we've had in like Jedi Survivor and like The Last of Us, right? And show that it doesn't matter what scale the development team is or whatever, it's the logic is the exact same.
Yeah,
Yeah,
it just gives it so much
100%.
more personality if you give it a story.
We do try and go pretty deep with it. I mean, there's a lot of like subtle storytelling. Like Phasmophobia doesn't have too much lore that's kind of in your face, I guess. Like we keep it vague so that the community can kind of work out the story for themselves. And we've done that loads in this map. Like this is where the tarot cards can spawn, which is like one of the cursed possessions. But we like the idea that, you know, you can see that maybe the girl who lived in this room had already drew some of the cards. And two of the cards that she's drawn here is the devil, which summons the ghost next to you, and then death, which causes the hunt. So maybe, you know, maybe that was the reason that this place is haunted, is there was a ghost here and she found these cards. She just started drawing these cards and playing with her crystal ball, and then everything went wrong. So
She fucked around and found out.
yeah, exactly. Yeah, it was really fun when the map came out to kind of watch the content creators and see their theories on what they think happened here. And yeah, it's like a fun little investigation on top of the investigation, you know.
So many theories, yeah.
I guess leaving things intentionally vague is like one, good for you, because it's like you don't need to like overthink everything, right? You can just give it like a rough justification and like a vibe, I guess. And the players love it because it gives them room to theory craft. They don't have all the answers just handed to them,
Yeah,
which is part of
exactly.
the fun for them.
They're all kind of references to other things in the game. So Edgefield is one of the other maps. And a little Easter egg for that is this is actually based on a band I used to play in. The logo is very similar to my old band, which not a lot of people know.
Like inspired by. Nice.
Yeah. And then the other posters, like we got this Phobia Festival, which is based on all the things in the game. So Banshee, Firelight, Diogen, the Poltergeists, Edgefield. And we love the idea that like things aren't quite as they seem. You know, you've come into this place to investigate a ghost, so the whole house is kind of cursed, and maybe you're not seeing things as they really are. There probably isn't a festival called Phobia Festival, and the bands probably aren't called these things, but the ghost is kind of taking control of you and your mind and making you think that you're seeing everything ghost related. And
I see. You're like, I'm with you.
Another thing I'll give Corey credit for is these beads. I remember him sending these in a Slack, and yeah, they are a really cool addition. I remember thinking people are gonna love that.
Yeah.
So
Well, we never did it before. It's like a new
Yeah.
thing. I was like, it'd be cool if we didn't have a door here, and I thought, oh, a bead door would be cool.
It suits it.
And then I was
nice,
like,
actually.
performance-wise, can we do this? And I tested it out, and it seemed to be okay. And yeah, we've had really good feedback. So
Just close your eyes and ship it.
yeah, basically, it just kind of.
Can you see the beads move when the ghosts come through? Like if
Yeah.
the ghost
Yeah.
came in, that's really nice. In VR, can you like? Does it feel like you're like pushing them to the side when you come through?
I think it will just use your player like collider. It doesn't use your hands, but that is something we could add actually.
I guess you just need a small collider on the hand or something.
Yeah, we just need to reference it. That's all. Yeah, it'd be very easy.
He just did like some mad limbo. Can you like, if you look up, does your left body?
Oh yeah. It's kind of bad timing doing it now because the next big update this year, well, I say the biggest update this year in kind of like autumn time, is going to be replacing all the player models, because some of the animations are pretty jank. These have kind of been in since day one, so
They certainly have
it's
some
gonna-
personality to them, though.
yeah, people love them even though they're kind of, you know, they've always kind of
Kinda
been my
quirky.
biggest pet peeve, but
Yeah, like when
people
you're in
love
a locker and you bend forward and you can just see your
Yeah.
friend's face.
Did you work on the study?
Yeah, I worked on a few things in this study, but I think it's just such a cool room.
Another bit of subtle storytelling. This gun case missing the gun in here.
Yeah, I noticed. I like that.
Yeah, I didn't get to make a gun, but I got to make a silhouette of a gun. So I'm happy.
foreshadowing for when you inevitably get to make a gun.
Yeah.
Maybe like you get to make a gun, and then you can put the gun in the case, and then that tells the story like that the ghosts put the gun back or something.
Yeah, the ghost is just walking around with a Glock 19.
This clock, this is one thing. The horror genre, like an absolutely like key pillar of it. And I know we're artists, right? So it's not something we like overly think about too much. But like just that clock ticking will just strike fear into players who are nervous already, right?
Yeah. Yeah, it sounds like that. And even when you just walk in the rooms and you get that almost like, I don't know how to describe it, like the quiet room noise, that's always been the scariest thing about Phasmophobia for me.
Yeah.
Walking in and hearing nothing, but you can hear something.
Yeah, there's like this, it's hard to pick up, right? And maybe the people in the video won't be able to do it. I'll try and boost the audio a bit. There's like this subtle kind of like background hum or whir. Almost like wind, but it's not, and it's just enough to fill the silence with anticipation.
Yeah,
it's a really interesting sound, because we love the idea that, like, you know, it's kind of like a presence that you're feeling as you walk in, so that's why you only hear it inside. And players got really used to it, and they kind of almost find comfort in it, the people that play it for a very long time. And when I reworked Sunny Meadows, which is the mental asylum map, I intentionally didn't put that sound in, and it basically caused so many people to feel uneasy again, because they're so used to walking in and hearing that bassy hum that almost like hugs your ears. And they go into this mental asylum that's the biggest map in the game. It's full of all this haunting imagery, and it is dead silent. It was like, yeah, like so many people were like, oh, I feel so uncomfortable in that map. So it's interesting that, you know, a thing that starts scary becomes a comfort, and then you can take it away and it becomes scary again.
What was it you did in here, Louis, other than the gun thing?
I did this zither that I'm holding. Christina did the sounds for it, I believe. I did these cabinets. I did the gun case and the clock, and this table here. But my favorite is probably this globe bar.
Oh, damn!
Which Zek did some of the 2D stuff for. Yeah, it's really cool.
Pour one out for the boy.
And then like some little bits like this cane, the suitcases. Oh, and this banker's lamp. This is quite cool.
Oh yeah, that was pretty early on, wasn't it? I remember that.
Yeah. But it's weird. Another thing I noticed working under Corey is in university, obviously it's good to learn the like the fundamentals, like your PBR accuracy and stuff like that. But like when making these suitcases, at one point I'd thought I'd finished with them, and then Corey said, could you just put a little bit of metallic on that? And I was like, this is not going to work. And I put like 0.1 metallic on it. And I don't know how, but it just sort of came together, and it made it feel a lot more leathery. And it's stuff like that where I realized like you can get away with little things like that as long as you know the fundamentals and know what you're doing.
Yeah, this is like it's like N-gons, right?
Yeah.
It's like N-gons are like taught as like this big no-no, but like the reality is if you understand topology and triangulation, there's no problem with them. Like
absolutely.
I think a lot of it is like what Louis was saying about PBR and like basic knowledge or whatever. I've always said it as like there's a thing in anything creative. I always just call it like an eye for design. I don't really know what else to call it, but I think some people may have a stronger eye than they do skill set, and I think I'm probably one of those people. I think Louis and the rest of the art team might be able to make better assets than I can nowadays, but I can look at something and go, I know exactly what that needs, and I guess that's why I'm in the job that I'm in, so it's probably the right way around. But yeah, having an eye for something is something really difficult to learn, I think. So I guess I'm quite lucky that I can kind of perceive things in that way. But yeah, I bet the guys could definitely out model and out texture me 100%.
Yeah, I think the that's an interesting point you bring up, because like you know, there's the technical people and the arty people, and it's like a linear path, right? Where do you fall? Like some people are like perfectly half and half, and then there's some people who are like full technical and they become tech artists, and there's people who go full art and they become concept artists, right? And it's like, where do you sit in that, like, that kind of spectrum, right? I think it's just
definitely.
it's, I guess, finding a team that allows you to like use your like preference within that line.
Yeah. And I'm really lucky that the guys kind of take feedback really, really well. There's never like an argument or like a negative comment. It's you know, the guys are always very willing to accommodate my sometimes very picky choices. But I think it works because, you know, this room's made by 4 different people and it all looks cohesive and matches, and you probably couldn't tell who made what, which is, you know, perfect for us and its performance. So, you know, we're checking all the boxes, and you know, that makes me feel happy that the guys did good and they got to make assets they like, and I feel good that, you know, we got a really good end product that the community loves. So yeah, win-win basically.
Yeah, I know whenever you give feedback that it's gonna work out for the better. So
Even if it
usually
takes
just a thumbs
days.
up and, yeah, and then get it done.
Yeah.
Saying that, it's because I've been working on it for a year now. It's really easy to forget what I worked on. I worked on the rugs, this little ashtray.
Oh yeah.
And there was one other thing, I can't remember what it was now. But I always forget.
Yeah, it's always like, oh, you'll like do a day here, a couple days there, and then before you know it, you forget, right?
Yeah, but something that really elevates our props is Zek's 2D work. Like, he'll make custom alphas and logos for us, and it really helps in like the texturing process.
Like stepping into the corridor a little bit, I love the it's really clear where you are, right? Each room, although part of it feels like it belongs, it still has its own identity, right? Like we've got like the very vivid green color palette in here. It's like, it's really hard to get lost. Do you know what I mean? Like you always kind of know where you are, even though you've never been in this place before. In my case,
Yeah, definitely.
Got this mannequin.
Yeah, that was Ethan. He's our new character artist, sculpt artist. Yeah. He's really talented, so he made that.
Oh, you nailed the kind of paint normal map.
Yeah, that was Louise, our other environment artist. So all of the paintings, and there's like these little drawings as well. I don't know if there's any in here. I think in this next room over, actually. They're all actually drawn by Zek, our 2D artist, who's also our level designer. So he kind of did the layout for this map. But yeah, he drew and painted all of the pictures and paintings in this map.
He's so good at them, isn't he?
And then yeah, Louise took it into Substance Designer and made a really cool, like oil painting. Yeah. They actually affect the image as well. So he painted them, as you would paint a painting, but because he did it digitally, we didn't get any brush strokes really. So we actually took the grayscale of the 2D like finished result, split it into like low, high, and medium values of grayscale, and then we pushed those values further apart with like a brushstroke filter to actually, force the brushstrokes back in again.
Yeah, using like a tile sampler, having like blending them all back through. That's nice.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Oh, there goes the fuse box again.
Yeah. Hang on, I'll go grab it.
I'm not gonna lie, I shit myself. People watching this just like on their phones, like at lunch or something, just like, oh yeah, that goes like, it's not that scary. It's like, wait until you're playing this at night.
This walk-in closet was one of the last things that I worked on, like towards like the update. So we'd forgotten about the room, and Corey was like, quick, we have to make stuff for it. So, but it was actually one of my favorites because I got to make a lot of like unique stuff. I made these shoes, the shoe boxes, and then these clothing bags.
That's nice. So even though it kind of was later in development thought, you still gave it the love and attention it deserved.
Yeah, it took quite a lot of feedback to get it right. Like these cardigans as well. I had to have quite a bit of feedback to make them look organic.
It's a cool little room, and there's like new unique interactions that the ghost can kind of almost punch these grey clothes bags, and they swing around, and it might leave fingerprints on there, and yeah, there's some cool stuff. There's actually like interactions that people haven't even seen yet, so it's kind of cool that there's enough in this level where even with, you know, it's been out a little while now, I still haven't seen certain things on YouTube or Twitch or whatever. So
yeah, because usually you'll see like a YouTube short about it or something like that. New interaction in Phasmophobia Bleasdale.
I did a playthrough with a couple of the biggest guys. So I play with them regularly on stream each week.
Cool.
And when Bleasdale released, I did a evening with them, and I did say the same thing as like, you know, there's still some stuff you guys haven't seen, and they are crazy. They will do anything in their power to find it, but we're lucky that the ghost kind of controls what it wants to do, not the player. So
yeah, it's like RNG, right? Because
yeah, exactly.
The ghost has to spawn in that room, and then it has to be the type of ghost that does that thing, and then the player has to notice it, assuming all that happens anyway.
And then it has to choose to do that thing as well. So yeah, there's like layers on layers of RNG. It's crazy.
You didn't even blink when the lights flickered them, bro.
It's freezing temps.
Oh, nice.
-9. Yeah.
Uh-oh. I hope it's a revenant. That'd be funny.
Why?
Because they're very fast. You guys wait
Or
here,
a
I'll grab
hand
some more
too.
stuff.
You sure you don't need help carrying anything?
Yeah, we'll just leave you in here on your own.
Oh, it's lovely outside. The birds are chirping.
I'm just gonna look at the animals on the wall.
Yeah, you've got these for comfort.
Yeah, the cats.
Yeah, this was one of the rooms we struggled with, because at first there were so many collisions in here, and when the ghost walks past them, it sort of interacts with those collision boxes. So it was messing with the performance, and we had to go through and fix all of those.
So what are we checking for now?
So you can tick on and off the other evidence and see if it aligns with our ghost. So if you tick EMF as our third, you can see there isn't any ghosts for that, so we can cross that out. We know it's not going to be EMF.
Oh, okay.
Ultraviolet could be a hand too, so that's a possibility. Ghost writing for the Revenant, possibility. Dots for the Ure, and then Spirit Box for Onryo. So we just need to check those 4 now, basically.
The ghosts have lots of unique interactions and personalities, which is another really cool thing about this game. Obviously, I had nothing to do with those, but it's the Onryo that if it blows out 3 candles, it hunts straight away, doesn't it?
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
So
yeah, people
it's
can
got
play
lots
this
of
game
things
without
like that.
without even using the evidence items, because all the ghosts kind of have little tells. So if you can learn them all, then you can kind of skip the core fundamentals of the game and just use your knowledge, which is probably one of the reasons the game is so successful. Is there's so many different ways of playing. You can kind of decide.
What's the speedrunning community like for this game?
Crazy. We released a level called Camp Woodwind, which is like a small version of our campsite, and because it's so small, the speedrun community kind of flocked to it because of how quick it was to find the ghost, and then using their knowledge, they could get ghosts in like 20-30 seconds and then leave and kind of repeat. And we found that when we redid the leveling, the like player leveling, and we added prestiges and these like badges that you unlock, people were smashing through these 20 prestiges that we'd added in like, I think it was like 9 days, 10 days or something like that. It was, yeah, absolutely crazy.
Oh, there's grinding out the XP.
Yeah, just smashing it out, yeah.
One of the weekly challenges, was it this week, was speedrun as well, where like your sprint speed is like maxed out and you're just running around after this ghost. It's really funny. But people really like that challenge, I think.
Do you mind just stepping out of the room? Because it might want to be on its own.
Yeah, some ghosts are okay with you being like multiple people being in there, but then some of them you have to be alone, like in the dark, and you have a higher chance of response. Like Spirit Box.
Yeah.
I heard it talking to
Onryo.
me.
So it's an Onryo.
Is that bad?
Onryos are fine.
Right.
They're okay.
Show
So
yourself.
Onryos have a their like passive kind of ability is that they don't like fire. So if you have fire in the room, it kind of acts as a crucifix.
Oh, cool.
So you can kind of defend yourself better. But like Louis said, if they blow out too much fire, then they get really annoyed and they attack you anyway.
Oh, is this the candle one?
Yeah.
The game has this incredible feature where the ghosts can hear you, right? And they have names and stuff like that,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah, so it has full voice recognition. Talking of a ghost.
Got a picture.
Oh my god.
Oh, it's only
So yeah,
two
there's
now.
a lot of key phrases you can use to speak to the ghost. You can ask it questions on the spirit box, on the Ouija board, and it'll answer you. You can say its name, and it will increase activity. You can, it will react to certain things that you say and do.
Yeah, like profanity. Hates profanity.
And there's even a ghost type that's all around listening to you. So it doesn't like when people talk. So the more you talk, the more chance it has of attacking you, and vice versa. So. Yeah, it's a cool system to kind of have in a game, which, you know, it wasn't really heard of to have voice recognition in a game a few years ago, and now loads of games have it, so...
The idea of using it in the horror genre hadn't really been thought of or done. And I hope more games do it, because I think it's a really engaging feature.
Yeah, and it makes so much sense, right? Like, it's, you know, you make sounds when you get scared, so kind of acting on that is genius, really.
Definitely. Oh shit, what a... No, you locked me in!
The ghost locks you in.
Oh, did the ghost lock me in?
I got scared. Did I get a picture of it or not? No. I did, but
earlier,
it didn't.
yeah.
You didn't get the shot, bro.
Yeah.
That was terrifying. I thought you had closed me in, Louis. I thought you'd been like, oh, fucking, let's get him killed.
I was in there with you. I was panicking, trying to get out my smudge stick.
Oh, it was Corey then. I was like, Corey's locked me out. Gonna get banned from the game because I just called the director a prick.
Oh, here we go. Now,
Oh, that is
now
a
it's
hunt.
hunting. So if it hits
might
you,
wanna run.
you're dead. Yeah.
I'll
Yeah, come in.
We've got a smudge, don't worry. I'll defend.
Oh God!
Run.
I pressed F and it didn't light up my smudge stick.
It's right click now.
Right click. Oh.
Oh
Good luck.
shit. No! Oh, it got me, boys. Oh wait, what the fuck? I'm in some layer.
I can't see a single thing. I have no flashlight. I've got a lighter.
Oh,
Turn it
no.
on. Here we go.
Oh, so now I'm in ghost mode, I guess.
Yeah, so we can't see you anymore, and you can kind of traverse about and not be killed again, obviously.
And you can throw stuff at us, which is great
Yeah.
for this map because there's so much to throw.
Alright, let's get out of here.
Hang on, lad. Don't get away so soon.
Leave our friend's dead body behind. You got your camera, you can go take a picture of his body.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, good idea. Go take a picture of my body.
I'll use my pathetic little lighter to make my way around.
I see him. He's throwing a vase at us.
Alright, where was it? Where did you go, Dan?
In the study.
Here we
Stabbing on the floor.
go.
And earlier you were trying to take a photo of the ghost, right? 'Cause you get like bonus money for that.
Oh, it's hunting. Good luck.
Oh, here we go again.
I smudged it.
Oh,
Now I'm in the demon lair.
He's dead. So this is our like lair. This is like our ghost hunting like headquarters here. The perfectly framed moon
Mm.
Exactly.
in the window. No accident, I'm sure. Oh, and this is the equipment. We've got like a better view of it now.
Yeah, so here you can see all 3 tiers of every item. Most of the old equipment, when I first started, I replaced all the gear, and there was 1 tier for everything. And then when we did the Ascension update, we tripled that. Some of the original stuff stayed kind of in the middle, but some of it moved down to tier 1, and it got 2 upgrades. But yeah, there's a lot of cool models here. It was a daunting project for just me to take on, but you know, I think it turned out good. I'm happy with it all.
I think you did a really good job of like making a clear visual difference in all 3 tiers. I think a lot of games, I don't like it to be honest, but a lot of games will do like just color the item differently. You know what I mean? Like a purple, like an epic legendary. Like
Yeah.
it's something Dead Island did when I did a tour of that game as well, and it was something they were really courteous to make sure that every item's like tier was very visual. It's really it's most obvious on like these cameras, right? You know, look at that camera row compared to like, the entry level, and I guess it gives the player a really nice feeling of progression as well. Like, I got the big camera now, boys. Let's go in.
Yeah, and we're quite lucky that because the game's kind of based in reality, that all this equipment exists. I think for the most part, I think there's only a couple of things that Ghost Hunters don't use. Like this dots projector isn't. I mean, the laser pen is a thing people use, but the other 2 models we kind of made up. I think that middle one's like an infrared sensor that I kind of just modified, but yeah, we're pretty lucky that we've got a lot of reference material we can use, and like you said, as long as it's clear and looks cool when you upgrade it, then people are going to be happy.
I have a question for both of you then. Do you believe in ghosts?
I've answered this one a few times in interviews. I don't really believe in them now, but when I was younger, I definitely feel like I had like an experience. I swear I saw like a little girl playing outside my window with like a big ball, and then like I turned round because my cat jumped off the bed, and when I looked back, like the ball was there, but the girl wasn't. And this was like 2 o'clock in the morning. Like which little girl is outside playing with a ball? So yeah. But since then, I've not experienced anything. So yeah, I'm kind of on the fence, you know. I'm open to it.
I don't believe in ghosts. No, I don't think they're real. But yeah, I'm open to second opinions. If I saw a little girl playing outside my
Yeah, I'd
window,
believe
I
it
think
too.
I think that would convince me.
Yeah.
So Louis needs a refresh. Louis needs one, and Corey needs an update, like a little refresher. So ghosts.
I need my DLC, my Ghost DLC.
Yeah, exactly. It's like his remaster patch. All right, let's head into a different map.
I remember starting and being a bit daunted by Unity as well, because obviously at Escape Studios we were predominantly Unreal Engine. We did everything in Unreal Engine, and they taught us a lot about the fundamentals of making a game in Unreal Engine as well, so that we could make our own games. But then when I came into uni, I was like, what am I expected to know? But they did like a really good job of sort of like easing me into it, and we make our own prefabs for Unity, which I suppose is like Unreal's equivalent of blueprints. And yeah, it's not as daunting as you would think to do the switch if you're just doing the creative stuff.
I'm glad you mentioned that actually, because it's a really good question that I never asked. Like something that as artists we're very safe in Unreal Engine, right? Personally, I've never professionally worked in Unreal Engine, but I feel like I'd feel very at home in it. And Unity is seen as like the more programmer engine, so no, hearing that you have like a lot of fun in it, and we heard the same with the Rust developers when we did the tour with them as well. Like they have a lot of fun in Unity as well.
There's a fun fact in here. Where's the light switch? Because I haven't played this map in a while. Oh, here. Where is it? This is actually my great grandma. She is sat at the back left.
No way.
That's so cool.
Yeah. And then this picture here is her grandparents.
Oh my god.
Wow.
That's so just like, it's so random but so perfect as well. I wonder, imagine if they knew that they're in like a horror game.
I know, yeah. Are they happy being immortalized in this? I don't really know.
Yeah, that would be crazy to tell them, wouldn't it?
Yeah.
If they were able to even understand it, assuming they were even still alive, I think they'd be like, "That's fucking awesome." Because I think
yeah, you couldn't even use like Tetris as a reference.
Yeah.
Like, what would you say?
So where are we, by the way? Like, what map?
So
is
this is Sunny Meadows, which is the updated version of the Asylum map. So this was the second map that I worked on. You can
I
see
thought I
kind of
recognized the entrance.
you can see a physical map of it here on the wall. But yeah, the goal was basically to make it less empty and less repetitive, because the old Asylum had basically copy-pasted rooms. Because at the end of the day, Dan, DK, is a programmer at heart. He's not an artist, so he just wanted to get something that played, but he didn't overly care about the visuals, I guess. So yeah, we reworked it, and yeah, it's a big old map. So it took
it's
I think
massive.
it took me about 6 months.
I remember playing this game, and we like worked our way up to go doing a ghost hunt here, right? I think we did the school map as well, and it was like,
Oh yeah,
doing a ghost hunt on this map was like we'd like trained for this, you know what I mean?
yeah. Yeah, some cool Easter eggs in this map as well. And again, back to the whole kind of like visual and environmental storytelling. There's absolutely loads in this map, which we
you
didn't
can
say
imagine.
anything. We just released the map, and then people have made like YouTube videos, like the story of Sunny Meadows, and all these cool theories came out. So we're gonna play a little game of tarot card roulette. We've got some tarot cards here. We could draw a couple.
Let's
See
do
what
it.
happens.
Oh,
I'll go
tarot
first.
card roulette. Explain the game to us.
So you just pick up the deck, draw a card by right-clicking, and see what you get. So I just got Wheel of Fortune, which either increases or decreases your sanity, and it decreased, so that's bad for us.
Oh, so it actually has real gameplay implications.
Yeah, you get 10 cards that are random.
I'll go next. Dan can be the finale. Okay, we ready?
If it's like an instant hunt, let me
Death
The
will be a
Hermit.
hunt. Yeah.
what did you
Just
get?
don't pull the
Hermit.
Hanged Man, because that kills you.
Can I can't choose what I pick, right? Oh,
No.
No, it's
oh my
random.
god, hang on. So it's E to pick up. What is it?
You need a free hand first, that's why. There you go.
And how do I draw a card?
Just right-click.
Wheel of Fortune, and it went red.
Okay. Yeah, so that's a negative sanity. I got the sun. So the sun and the moon are 2 cards. The sun fully refills your sanity, and the moon fully takes it away.
I have a bad
Nice.
feeling about this one.
Good luck.
The Tower. The Fool. What?
So the fool is like a card that can... Any card can become a fool, and the fool just does nothing. It's like a prank card, basically. The ghost saying, haha, you don't get anything.
Death, and then
Yeah,
it
I never knew
changed.
which each one did. Oh,
Did you get death?
It death, and then it went purple and changed to something else.
Oh, so it changed to
Oh.
the fool. Okay, that's good.
Oh my god.
Oh,
what happened? Oh, he
Hanged man.
oh he died. Oh, bye. Well,
no.
I think the ghost is getting revenge because
Yeah.
he couldn't kill Corey last game.
Well, if you keep pulling him, you might get a priestess and bring me back.
Yeah, let's try.
Can we even get to the deck? You've like fallen onto it.
Oh no!
Yeah,
you are
you
like
can like
stood
pick
on
it up
top of it.
through,
Yeah.
but we've got to like get the.
It's
prompt.
next. It's next to the like the circle on the.
I got
yeah,
it. I
you
got
you
it. I got it.
Nice.
Nice.
Death,
Uh-oh.
Oh dearie me,
and it's just death.
this is poor.
So
So
the
that's
ghost
just
will be hunting now.
Death again. Oh, the fool.
Yeah, every card will become a
The
fool
devil.
during a hunt.
Fool. Oh,
Yeah.
during a hunt. Okay.
Yeah.
are we fucked, boys?
Yeah. All right.
It's quite a big
Uh,
map. It might not come in. You might be alright.
Yeah.
I'll go hunting.
We'll give it a go.
What scares me more than the ghost is the fact Corey knows how to play this game, and he's gonna throw stuff
Oh.
at us and scare us.
Found her. She's coming. She's coming right at you.
Oh,
God, she's
boy.
on the
Oh,
floor.
my God, it's so fast. Okay, break line of sight by like. Oh lord. We're cooked.
I died again.
Oh dear.
That was utterly terrifying.
You guys want to watch me try and win?
Yes.
Yeah, good luck. I think the
Not
ghost
gonna
room's
go
up
well.
there. It might be at the back of the map, Louis.
Give it a go.
It'll either be this one on the right or the
There's
next
an open
one.
door here. 19.
So you can't see me or Corey now. We're just
Oh,
kind
here we
of
go,
your
1
guardian
degree.
angels. Or not.
It's not
Tarot card
freezing,
roulette
so I don't
certainly
get
made this a
easy
little bit
evidence.
more.
Yeah. I don't think I've ever pulled a hanged man, you know? That might be my first one.
I haven't.
It's a 1% chance.
Oh, it's a 1% chance. Oh, I thought it was
Yeah.
like 20 cards and they were all like even? Like
there's 10. You get 10 in a deck, and there's 10 different cards, but each the amount you get of each is random. So you could get 10 of the same card. You could get 10 different cards.
Oh, I
or
see.
Whatever combination. But yeah, Hangman is 1%. I think the Priestess, which is the revive, is 2%. Hunts and events are like 5 or 10%. And then the most common ones are like the sanity changing ones, and then there's some that like trap the ghost in its room or make it interact with more objects for a set period of time.
Oh no.
Oh, you're dead, mate. Good
Oh,
luck.
okay. It's not hunting, is it?
Yep.
Oh, it is.
Absolutely wiped.
She was just standing there. Why?
Yeah.
She's just standing there menacingly.
While you guys were talking, I cracked up because Dan's dead body was just sort of like shoulder length up against the side of the wall, like chilling.
So we have one final map to look around. A little bit smaller than the last ones, a little bit more homely. I feel safer. I'm certain I'm not as safe though. The size of this door, Jesus. We'll close that. We have time after this incredible and terrifying tour of Phasmophobia for 2 more questions. And of course, it's the advice section. So, Corey, Louis, what advice do you have for aspiring game developers, maybe existing game developers, or gamers that are interested in game development? Maybe Corey, you could start us off.
Yeah, I guess a big one for me from the art side. I mean, I originally came from like a motion graphics background and kind of pivoted into game design. A really big one, which kind of crosses all the boundaries, all of the industries, with portfolio stuff. And I recommend this to everyone: don't throw anything away ever. If you're applying for jobs in an industry and you're only putting forward your best work, you've got to bear in mind that art is very subjective, and what you might like, an employer might not want to see, and what the employer might love, you might hate. I think it's always worth keeping everything, and unless they specifically ask you to only send like 3 things, just send them like your art station and have everything on your art station, because they might scroll down and something will catch their eye and be like, whoa, that's exactly what we need for our next project. And you're sat there thinking, oh, I made that 3 years ago and I could do way better now, and I've never got round to it. I think that's a huge thing, is that people are very comfortable with kind of binning off work they don't like or that they think they could do better, but in reality that could be the exact thing that someone's looking for, and you least expect it. So yeah, if there's one thing I'm going to pass on to people, it would be that.
I might have to go and have a look at my art station after this. No. But I never
Re-upload everything.
I never
I've got a
delete.
few unpublished things.
Yeah, that's the thing as well, right? There's a difference between deleting things and unpublishing them as well. Like, you can always bring those things back. Don't ever go, I hate that, and scrap it. I think that's a really good piece of advice, actually. Not something that is really spoken about much, but I think is really, really important. So I'm glad you raised it. Louis, what about you?
Yeah, I'm all about the students, like, I think it's such a trying time in the industry. I've just come out of uni. I know how hard, how like insecure you can feel about your work, and I think it's important to just put yourself out there. I know it's easy to get burnt out, but enter as many competitions as you can. Like the Rookies is a good one. What's another good one? Grads in Games is another really good one. And then you can like do that on the side with your uni work as well. Like, you can sort of make the 2 projects one. And then go to lots of networking events. That's how I met all the guys at Kinetic. Is I was at Guildford Games, which is another really good event for networking. And you've just got to put yourself out there. Like, don't let anyone tell you can't connect with people on LinkedIn if you don't know them. Just connect with as many people as you can. Like, I didn't know Dan before this interview, but now we're doing this dev tour and it's been brilliant. So it's always good to connect with people on LinkedIn and go to networking events.
Yeah, and we spoke a little bit before, and we have like mutual friends, people who have watched the Rust developer tour. Like Lewis was someone who's given a lot a lot of feedback to Louis in his student stage of his career, and I couldn't agree more with what you said about entering competitions. I mean, you had an incredibly successful time entering the rookies. There's also grads in games as well, and not many people know this, but the way I got into the games industry was I won a series of competitions at college levels, so before university, called World Skills, and that got me a job at Codemasters working on Formula One, because the judges liked my work and they said, oh, you should come work for us, we got a junior position. So I never actually went to uni. I was very fortunate to just get headhunted out of college due to my competition success. You never know who's watching those competitions as judges, so you can get, if you time it right, you can end up very, very lucky.
Yeah.
And at its worst, you're going to get like some great feedback as well.
Yeah, portfolio reviews are great as well at those. I was mentioned. Sorry, just to like expand off of that. At Guildford Games, they do. You can book yourself in for portfolio reviews, same as EGX as well. Do the same thing.
Yeah, and if anyone's seen the Planet Coaster Developer Tour, Tim does portfolio reviews as part of his Beyond Extent as well. So honestly, I think we have, as game developers, one of the most amazing communities in terms of like accessibility to like talent and communication with each other. I mean, as you mentioned, this developer tour was born out of me just reaching out. Do not be afraid to reach out. You might find yourself surprised, guys.
In worst case, they're just going to say no, so why not?
Yeah,
Exactly.
it is a weird adjustment period for me because I have a lot of students reaching out from Escape Studios and other universities now, and I still feel like a student myself, but I always try and give any advice that I can.
I still feel like a student, and it's been like 11 years.
Yeah, that kind of I guess it could be described as imposter syndrome, right? That like requirement to learn never really goes away ever.
Definitely.
But yeah, it has been absolutely incredible, and some amazing advice as well. I think really unique advice. Some of the advice we've had recently has been like really good for like drilling in similar points, because we've had some like similar pieces of advice, and it really like nails home the importance of those things. But it's really great to hear some like different perspectives that can be implemented for people watching. But that is all we have time for. It's been so fun. People from the Phasmophobia community watching this, thank you for tuning in. I hope you stay to have a look at some of the other tours, and regular viewers, I hope you really enjoyed a look at our first horror game, and I'll probably have a break for a couple episodes now.
Give you time to wind down.
That's right. This has been the developer tour for Phasmophobia. Thank you very much, Louis and Corey.
Thank you very much for having us. Cheers.
Yeah, thank you.